okay. Off your mic, it's okay. She off your mic,
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not they off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This man not they off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo.
Buhari, 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 Buhari. Say it again, Buhari.
Hello there.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀, làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, good evening to you, from wherever you are watching from. This is Maiyegun live. Share the broadcast.
Maiyegun diary Politico. Godfatherism, kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun diary.
That's right.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o, kẹ́gbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu.
Thank you very much. Share this broadcast. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends, and invite the Lagos Abobakus. Even whether you invite them or not, they are going to be here anyway. So share the broadcast, and don't forget, like the broadcast too.
Lórí Facebook, Maiyegun ti dé.
And yes, we like you.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun ti dé.
And yes, we like
So, ìròyìn ní ṣókí, something you can call the news in short, just before we get fully into this conversation tonight. Today, APC, Egbekegbe, they launched their campaign led by Buhari. And this man here is their presidential candidate, Oduneko Shaimofoloko, is a known face according to Buhari. This is, ladies and gentlemen, Tinubu Amoda, aka Amoda Shango Lere Abi Ogun Lere, aka Amoda Onikoko, aka Ikoyi Joe Biden, aka Jagabandit, aka the awaiting presidents of Nigeria. So, if you insult that man in Nigeria, it will cost you something. Just pray that it only costs you money, like this TV station in Nigeria, who shared a flyer that turned out to be fake, purported to be from INEC. Immediately after this TV station in Nigeria shared that fake image of Tinubu's drug dealing in America being investigated by INEC, Layamo of NBC, Nigeria, or National Broadcasting Corporation, Abi Nigeria, whatever, they find them 2 million naira. If they get my own address, God knows how much is going to be my debt as we speak. So today, Buhari, the leader of APC, Egbekegbe, decided to lead the flock of the rogues, jihadists, looters, criminals, and whatever you can tag them, into a battle in order to hand the baton to Tinubu, the Jagawiri. However, failure leading failure. Normally, nowhere in any, well, maybe not all part of Nigeria, but most part of Nigeria right now, ordinarily, it should be a thing of shame. I'm talking about a thing of embarrassment for anybody, right? To beat his chest or her chest that they are rooting for APC, Egbekegbe, with what they have done to Nigeria in the last 7 years alone. But according to the words of the wise men, they said, you cannot shame the shameless. Therefore, the journey started today. In order to make up for the crowd, I mean, Buhari is coming. So what do you expect? They needed the crowd. First, when they got to Jos last night, the mobilization started. What was that? When they tell you about structure or no structure, they are talking about the ready-made or ready for hire, hungry citizens that they have impoverished mostly the last 7 years. So when they got to Jos last night, they arrived in Jos with so much money. So early this morning, they started going to every junction in Jos, every motor park in Jos. The governor of Plateau State is the leader, is the chairman of Tinubu's campaign. Lalong, you have seen what the people of Plateau State have suffered in the hands of APC, Egbekegbe, especially on insecurity, Abi. Well, fine. People are poor, they say. So this morning, they went to town, and they started sharing money. Because prior to that, last night, the governor of Plateau State declared today as a public holiday in order to show some level, to have a lot of people around and say, you see APC, see crowd. But they paid them. I mean, well, according to them, in Nigeria, you just have to pay people to come to your rally. And that is what the Obidients are using as their own bragging rights. We know they give shishi. But today in Jos, people made as much as 20,000 naira today just attending APC Egbekegbese rally. Buhari was there, everybody, you know what I mean? But it didn't take long when they started preaching to them about Muslim tickets. And there Wahala started. But to start with, if you understand Hausa or the language they are speaking here, if you don't worry yourself. The picture tells its own story. Early this morning in Jos.
Nawap is not food. Tura na shaju. Suka karbawo. As in, these people are jobless. Babes, they inside though.
Zoom in mana. Yawa kin gani.
Kina na ce.
Kai 3,000. Kamar 2K. Kigan wannan da sha.
Ba na ma iya. God forbid.
Do you get that? The purpose is just to make them poor. If you can make as many of them poor or poorer as much as you can, there you have it. You're willing to of keeping power with brute, the brutality that you're witnessing today. And when the time is right, give them money, give them food, give them things that ordinarily they should never beg for. But since you've made them so, it doesn't really matter. Just give them and bring them over. And that's what happened. A man who witnessed that earlier today couldn't take it, but he's an Obidient, one of the Obi supporters in Jos. If you remember, they had their own there too, Abi. Okay. This man had this to say, and he showed us something too.
Be in Jos today. Yeah, Tinubu was going to be in Jos today. And quite frankly, you see the helicopter with that, Abi? They see him. Yeah. So, let me tell you my observation and what is happening in Jos. Look at me, I'm always obedient. Even in my Versace, I put obedient inside. Sure you get me. So, yeah, while we were coming, this one we saw it with our two koro eyes. They were sharing 2,000 naira for all the keke napeps in Jos and all the motorcycle riders and vests and people trying to buy crowd. The most annoying thing today is that the governor of Plateau State declared today as public holiday for a presidential aspirant. My question to you, Mr. Lalong, is this: are you going to declare a public holiday when Kwankwaso visits Jos? Are you going to declare a public holiday when Atiku visits Jos? Are you going to declare a public holiday when Peter Obi visits Jos?
And that was early this morning. But all of that, according to the Agbadomites, the Lagos Abobakus, the Oshogbo Alimajiris, the crumb eaters, crumb chasers, ass lickers, all risers, according to them, na cry, all of una they cry. We told you, jungle go soon mature. We go buy anything we buyable. As we did, they carry our certificate of slavery all about, and we are proud. Shebi now the thing say you smart. This poverty, this shege where all of us they see. Now there we go die. That's the mentality of an average agbadomaito. Younger, no, though. It doesn't matter. That's the average, that's their mentality. So all these things you are saying, forget the story, my brother. Everybody they do everybody they collect money, this and that, because it is normal. They will beat you money for money, poverty for poverty. What else? In everything, the slaves loves their chains. So what do you expect? Maybe not all of them, because people collected their money and they attended the rally. At first, Buhari, I think Buhari, when Buhari arrived, then after Buhari, Tinubu, they brought in a lot of governors just to make up the number. They brought in, a lot of people from Kano, from different states. This Kano boss, Nasarawa boss, Abuja, that. Even with all of that, Kasala still boss too. But let's start from where it all started from. There is nothing. Let me tell you something. Look at me. If you are interested in following the charade called Nigeria election, which many of us know is just a charade, a formality. All of the gra here and there, now just formality. Here you get. But there are things that when they begin to mount those podium, blabbing nonsense, jargons, repeating nonsense here and there are things they are always let out. They slip out. You don't listen to them. You're not interested in them because most of what they are saying are just repetition of what they have told you before anyway, Abi? And there are hidden things that they say that you don't pay attention to. And during the heated campaign that they will do, where they will be throwing verbal attacks, there lies the truth why joining them that you want to run Nigeria through your PVC election is a pure waste of time. But for the sake of the experience, for those of you who don't go get PVC, I wish you well, oh. Are you with me? There is nothing to pick from their campaign. Nothing. There is nothing interesting. Just, we'll give you light, we'll give you job, we'll give you food, we'll send your children to school, we'll build you road, we'll make sure that we fight corruption, we'll make sure that you are safe. All the normal things that you will never get. You know that, Abi? But within there are other things they say. So I love the clownish, or let me say the clownness in all their political nonsense. And looking at some of you educated people, so serious. Let me tell you something. Kwakwanso is going to beat Atiku. Atiku is going to beat Tinubu. Tinubu is going to beat Obi. Obi is going to all of the, you are taking it too serious, Abi. Too serious. Look at you. You are political permutators about Nigeria. Abi, you are taking it serious. At the end of the day, it will end the same way. All your smartness, all your political analysis, all your projection, every other thing, it will end in one thing. Just the same Nigeria. In the hands of the same people. And then, in 4 years' time, Abi, you go start to speak grammar again. Start to do analysis. Start to do this and that, Abi. You will continue. Shongbo, continue. We were there in when the whole thing started, before everything changed. Here you get. First, Buhari. Still wait. If you know waiting, how many times then call Allah today in that APC meeting, RB rally? you will know that they are just, as we are starting, I am just bringing out, I'm just dipping my hand in the pocket to bring out the belt. Our motion, not stay motionless. So, Buhari, the president of Nigeria, the leader of APC, Egbekegbe.
Say Baba. Say Baba. Say Baba.
Yo, Baba Buhari. And I think that's Abike. That must be Abike. Abike Dabiri. Abike Dagboru. I've never seen anybody who work for government of any country that actually work against the majority of the citizens of that country that the agency she works for should be caring for. Abike Dagboru. But we'll come back to that. So everything was fine. It was all right. There was no reason for any, people were partying, things were fine. Including, I think this one also was fine. Almost the crowd. Let me tell you something, Nigerians are so poor right now, that this election in Nigeria to some poor people is going to be a survivor season for them. How? All you need is just 1,000 naira or mostly 2,000 naira per person. Now, you know that 2,000 naira, if you give 100 people 2,000 naira each, what you will get is you will spend 200,000 naira. Sure, you know. Now imagine if you need 1,000 people. Are you with me? And you give 1,000 people 2,000 naira. How much is that? 2 million naira. Now let's say you need 10,000 people, and you want people to mobilize at least 10,000 people for you. You want to give them 2,000 naira. Do you know how much that is? 20 million naira chicken change to these rogues. So Nigerians are so poor right now. So poor. That they said Nigeria is the poverty capital of the world. And it's obvious anyway, it's obvious. So if you as a poor person, and you jam them where they are sharing 2,000 naira to come to their rally, they call it free money, but it's also. So if PDP do rally, Kwakwanso do rally, Peter Obi do rally, that one will go give you money. I'm not sure that one will give you money. Tinubu do rally, Atiku do rally, Kwakwanso do rally. And in a day, they do rally in your own state. Because in your state, they may have like 20 rallies in a month, different ones from different parties. So at the end of the day, in a single month, for attending rallies alone, everywhere, collecting t-shirt, collecting cap, you may be cashing out over 30 to 40,000 naira. What am I saying? 60,000 naira every month from this November to March 2023. Do you know that? You don't know that. You think we don't know? If you attend their rally, you can make money from it. It's just that if you ask them that what happened, what did they say at that rally, they probably won't have any clue. Sure, you get, because they are not there to listen to anybody. But there's something that happened when the Just rally was going on, and Tinubu waved everything, and everything was still fine. There was still no trouble for like another 60 seconds.
When we walked in here and we observed the gargantuan and humongous sea of air, coupled with the paroxysm of racism and the charge.
Can you make any sense of everything you heard just now? This last 40 seconds you just listened to, right? Could you make any sense of anything he said? He was acknowledging the sea of heads. See all the head. I just gave you a statistic now, okay? If 10,000 people fill that stadium, 10,000, and they all collected their 2,000 naira, £2. I swear. So, £2. Wọ́n bá yé yín jẹ́. £2. 10,000 people will collect just how much? They will collect 20 million naira. Do you know how much those who pull those people together? Do you know how much they bill Tinubu? Do you think they collected 20 million naira when they were giving 2,000 naira? Or Deni, or the local Junoyi. I love Tinubu. Even if they don't give me money, I will still attend. Of course, it's a democracy, by the way. Yeah, it's a democracy. Nigerian style of democracy. Povertocracy. Ishecracy. Iyacracy. Suffer-crazy. I mean, like suffer-ed crazy. Like crazy. None of it actually represent the true definition of democracy. Do you know that Nigeria style of democracy is completely different from the real democracy? You know that democracy, they say, is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Government of the people, by the people, which include even the morons that use that to defend and say, hey, it's a democracy. If they pain you, go and die. Maiyegun, go and hug transformer. Say, oh, Denier. If to say you are not, if nobody say you decrease, you know, say Nigeria no get electricity. When somebody who is trying to help you away from these criminals, you tell them to go and hug transformer. Are you not mad? Transformer a wombe. Because your intention is, if anybody grab a electricity transformer, they will blow and they will die. Abi? then you are telling people to go and hug transformer. Your transformer that are actually dead. Transformers that you can sleep on. Now, mental. Are you with me? So, Buhari failure was there sitting down. And he was happy. He was like, now they remind him, say, him be president of Nigeria. He probably have no idea anymore. But fine. He was there. They say, Kalu, what do you have to tell the people? What is your program? Omo, ancestors versus ancestor. For God knows how long he was shouting, oh, Baba, now spirit of Buhari, Tinubu they call. She Buhari don't die ni.
Buhari, 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 Buhari. Say it again, Buhari.
Buhari. And I remember something, oh. I don't know if many of you remember this. I remember something. And that is, you remember when Buhari suddenly developed health problems? You remember that time? That they had to quickly bundle him out of Nigeria. Because when they call him, you know they hear again, deaf and dumb. And I said something, I said, the situation they have put you in Nigeria, which they have put you, which you have managed to learn how to live like that or adjust to the new Nigeria they have given to you. I said, from the source, from a very, very reliable source, there was something wrong. They said, people in Benue, the people, you know, that time, that was when the Fulani terrorists, because they were new. It was Boko Haram during Jonathan. There was no Fulani terrorists, armed terrorists killing anybody or kidnapping. Sure you get. Then APC, Egbekegbe came in. Then Fulani terrorists started killing everybody everywhere. Remember? And Benue, they turned Benue, the food basket of Nigeria. They turned it to grave basket or graveyard basket of Nigeria for the amount of people or the number of people they slaughtered and killed. So everywhere you go, on social media, offline, online, everywhere, Buhari, Buhari. Now they said there were certain people that will go on the mountain, the hill of Plateau, the mountains of Benue, the plains of Benue. And they will go there, very, very dead in the night. And they will be calling, Buhari, 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 Buhari. And from nowhere, Buhari go to hear his name until he hear block. And they brought him to the UK. Remember that time? Since that time, they didn't give us the follow report. They just said it's okay. It's okay. But we know since then, it became deaf, dumb, and then partially blind. Some said the whole process even replaced his heart with something called cold stone heart, where you know they make him feel anymore. So many things were said. But you see, when in Jos today, Tinubu was shouting his name, I swear that was what came to my mind. She Buhari is there, Funi. Abi, is there something they are not telling us?
Buhari, 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 Buhari. Say it again, Buhari.
Do you get that? I bet you are not laughing. Because some of you can take a serious issue into a joke, even though it's a joke, isn't it? But Maiyegun, is that the only thing you did at the venue? Come on. Where they danced. Okay, for a throwback, I hope this will remind you of somebody. Do you remember this?
We will work with you to build a Nigeria that is not corrupt. I bring you a message of hope.
emphasis on education.
Sure, you remember now? No, there's somebody I wanted to show you there. Not actually everyone, okay? Did you see Oshiomole's dance? Yeah. With that khaki and oh man, he's back. Oh, he's back. It is payback time. Do you understand? Tinubu funded Oshiomole's court case in Edo. Oshiomole, the underdog, Labour Party candidate in a governorship election in Edo, had no real, well, he probably had money. But nevertheless, it was Tinubu's friend. Then he felt robbed. He felt robbed. He felt like the Edo people voted for him. But because he's the former Labour leader, they wanted to cheat him. PDP wanted to cheat him. Osarimen Osumbo, did I pronounce that right? Was the person they said beat Oshiomole. But no, Tinubu used what they used at the time. The courts. You remember Adefarati, that justice aha, good. They gave Oshiomole his mandate back in order for him to fleece the people of Edo State. Currently, he owns the biggest and the largest personal property of any individual ever in Edo State. He built the best and the biggest palatial palace for himself. Just because he's the governor of Edo State. Well, anyway, it's a payback time. If Tinubu will need a dancer, after telling the greatest Nigerian youth people, great. Greatest Nigerian youth people, great. Oshekini olule, that's Oshekeji olule. Oshekata olule, ejo emaje go she ekerin. You will need a dancer for such a remix. And for the first time, we see Tinubu actually like dance to his own olule. Ebam bewon. May they not punish me because of this sound. Oh, I'm so scared of using some of this music, but I cannot, in a way, resist this particular one to show to you. If YouTube and Facebook come back, can't give me knock, I hope all of you members of the Temple of Truth, you are going to be on standby. You cannot defend me, but I can't see this alone. Tinubu's agenda when he was speaking to the people of Jos today before the stoning started. Before the stoning starts, one of them is this. Just for posterity's sake. Where is it again? Tinubu, what is your agenda? He said he's going to save the youth. I want to rescue the Nigerian youth. I want to give you hope. Because Bokwari don't show you shege. Like I said, you can't have this wonderful idea of how to make the youth's lives better in Plateau states, and you won't need a dancer. The best man to start the dancing for Tinubu is no other person than Oshiomole, ladies and gentlemen.
The great youth of Nigeria people. The greatest youth of Nigeria people.
Wait, does that even make any sense? Or more managing like that? Sorry for interrupting you, okay? I just thought I should ask. Does that make any sense? The greatest youth of Nigerian people. Whoa, the
great youth of Nigeria people. The greatest youth of Nigeria people. The greatest of the greatest of the greatest of the greatest of the greatest, the greatest of the greatest of the greatest of Nigeria. That candidate. God bless you. It is indeed a
I know some of you are dancing. Somebody said, Maiyegun, I can't believe you made me dance. I said, comedy, it's just going to be comedy show. And these are the people promising you your future, your life. Throughout. Then you turn around and then you expect them to, what? Maiyegun, that one is just the moment. I said, okay, fine. I haven't seen anything they said that could possibly say, oh, yeah, I read something about, I mean, he explained something about his policy on this or that. Absolute nothing. You know that, oh, you know it, oh. Now, they do Ayon Bufo. Ayon Bufo means interpreter. Imagine, oh, Tifnumbu, when Bokuwari talk, whenever Bokuwari says something so stupid, you will see educated people. Now, them, they interpret. Listen, what Buhari is trying to say, I say, wala dentori Allah, is this not a problem? The president of Nigeria will need an interpreter. Why don't you let us break away and we can go and start using our own local languages to govern ourselves to real long? The president of Nigeria will speak English. He will still need an interpreter. They manage that one. Now they say Kolu need the interpreter too. Now somebody was telling me that whenever Kolu speak, the reason why I am always criticizing him when he says something is because it requires intelligent people, very, very intelligent people to understand Tinubu. I say, wala de. Oh. We will have to go to school to understand whatever Tinubu say to us. Like, are you for real? For example, in just today, Tinubu, you remember that expiring permanent voters card. You remember that? They explained it. Give me a sec. I want to sneeze. Excuse me. Sorry. So they explained it to you. They explained to us. What he was trying to say is because river and other. Now today, you remember the climate change solution to climate change is can be described as church rats eating the Holy Communion and then cutting down wood for firewood. At the end of the day, educated people are one we really be Bele lecturers, Mumu Madus. They are interpreting. Maiyegun is because you don't have intelligence. The narrative, the parable, I say, wala ti debai. So we will need an interpreter for Tifnumbu. It's just I don't even know how they are going to interpret this one when Tifnumbu writes in their presence, and he said, God bless APC. But the action of this man, Naim must me. Look at it.
God bless APC. APC.
And they package jam. They know say he is invalid. They know that he has dementia. They know that he dey pee for body. Sure, you get all these things are medical things that they have to package. They know that he no get sense anymore. If he's talking, he's going to talk off track, everything. They just have to come in. But because of waiting, then they chop. As they are giving you 2,000 naira to attend their rallies. The people that are giving you the 2,000 naira, do you know how much they collected? The millions they have collected. When you show up in large number, they have delivered. They can go and buy latest Benz. Now they will be your leader. I say, we are the one who organized the Akure rally for Ashiwaju. I saw crowd. I fear. People love Ashiwaju, girl. If you stay Akure, you go fear. Meanwhile, the Were collected money. The money he collected, he organized into in his own small space. Boss, Eyele Bitomako Sinu Egala Tomakwen Funyin, as well as La Casera Tomako Funyin Temamu, and then 2,000 naira. Temamu Padalosile Lale. After they gave you 2,000 naira, they are cashing out big way. And on social media, they have enough money to buy data so that they can now post all of your pictures and pictures of your fathers, your mothers, your uncles, the people that somehow, your pastor or your babalawo or mamalawo or your afa is telling you they are behind your unfortunate existence, your poverty. It can't be like say that it can't make sense, so but not be spiritual level. Here you get. You are on social media, you are saying, go guy, on your mandate we shall stand. The people that are posting the pictures that they call influencers, who give your mama, your papa, who gave your uncle, your auntie, jobless uncle, jobless auntie, poor mama, poor papa, for different parts of Nigeria. And they mobilize them into a center where they have no idea what the people up there are saying to them. They have no idea. Here you get, but they will collect 2,000. The people sharing the photo that you are hailing, Anyway, let's come back. And as they collect your money, they bounce, they enjoy them. Here you get. Just remember, sometimes Mokuna watch waiting you they talk, because I don't know what this person said that triggered the people of Jos. And because APC Egbekegbe said, if we fail, stone us. It be like say day one, where Buhari was there, Tinubu was there, so many state governors were there, people were paid to come there. Are you with me? Baba, they can't talk about Muslim ticket, ni Jos. Muslim ticket, ni Jos. Now there wahala started. May I not waste your time.
Of salaries, payment of pension, payment of gratuities across the 27 states, and indeed
John now, we'll pay you now. Duala de kudi now. Duala. Kuje, adeye kuje kubula. Duala, John now. Biko now. We go pay you now. Duala de kudi duala. Now waiting I hear be that too, but Ahmed is coming here tonight to come and tell me what they really say, what they actually said in that Duala. But it's not, is it hard? Did you not see them? They say some people they were fighting within that small space. And because they have this agreement, so they settle the you the mentor. Why do you always love to just get something to make you feel better when you can see it obviously? Like some said now Peter Obi and Atiku could do them. Say now them tell people to attack us. You decrease people where you pay. You paid people to come to you. Let me see if I still have that clip. You paid them. They paid them. Look at this.
Now what is not food?
Tura na shaju. Suka karbawo. As in these people are jobless. Babes, they inside though.
Zoom in mana. Yawa kin gani.
Tura na ce.
Kai 3,000.
Bana ma iya.
No. God forbid.
Sure you get. So they pay them. You know, even party members, or people will be their party members. They can't go anywhere without being paid. You have to pay them. Now, what did they can say? If that rally was happening in Ibadan, you see the person that is shouting Douala, 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 the Kudi, the Kuje, and everything. Yeah. Hey, John and Lomamagbo, if it was Ibadan, you'll be here. Hey, John now. Hey, John now. Emma by Niger. Hey, Joe. Hey, Joe. Emma baby, hey, Joe. I'm a fun no one. Hey, Eban Bebo boy. Somebody come and joke. Majokuta yen. Joe. Hey, Joe. But now Douala, Yakudi come, in another other nonsense. You now no get shame. Shame you get. Now people wait they beg Allah for. Inside that just rally. Now them go they abuse Maiyegun. Shut up your mouth. You will see. February will defeat it and you'll be defeated. All right. You are defeating yourselves. What happened to your 2015 defeat? What happened to your 2019 defeat? What happened to all the defeats that you have gotten yourself involved in? How far did that take you? You are defeating yourself. Douala. Ko bàjẹ́ fún Douala tó níbi ilé ni ní kure.
Douala kudena. Douala kudena. Douala kudena. Kudena. Don Allah kudena. Mekano Allah yedena. Please, security forces, I beg of you to stop beating these people. It shall allow you to be okay. Don't Allah. Please.
Sorry, Jare, or Buruku with laughter. Then they imagine you where you go, you won't go collect 2,000 naira, or you collected 2,000 naira to go and collect condo beating for the same place where you wanted them. Say, I know support Muslim ticket, I know support Shetima, I know what they don't do also. They can say you declare on the beat you with stick. Ẹran ọ̀yà ni ẹran ọ̀yà. Goats wey be say them preserve them for beating. Ẹran ọ̀yà. Ẹ fẹ́ la. You know what I mean? Ẹ fẹ́ ṣe kíni o? Ẹ fẹ́ la. Like this. Anyway, mine is just to kind of point to you that that thing that you are investing your emotion, your time, your resources, the people you are looking at and feeling like they could probably pull a stunt, alaye, on veut feel life but it's up to you. It will only life, you feel use and play kalo with them. As many of you, even some of you don't even get the choice to use your life, play kalu. They don't use and play kalu already, don't empty. If you check them, what is the value of the life of a Nigerian? Who is a Nigerian? As a Nigerian, what are your rights? Where you go find them? And who they protect them? Who go give them to you? You know what I'm saying? I know my rights. Now from there, you go to change and say, okay, sir. Please, sir. Say, you decrease. You are talking about rights. If let's say you the mental, you are still speaking grammar. Boss! Say, stand up there and say, sir. Please, sir. What about your rights? Have you forgotten your rights? I don't get rights, sir. Please. I know say God will fight for me. So what makes you a Nigerian? What's your value? Except the value you place on yourself, which is no value. I love the fact that self-worth is good, right? You can feel like, I know my worth. Maiyegun, they cannot try anything with me. I don't take any nonsense. Now you go they call, say, help me. They don't they carry me, they go where I don't know when the criminals who are not, they don't give a damn. If you are going to die, you will die. For asking them that that's Nigeria you are living in. The place whereby even if you scream, hey Joe, help me, you go still get either beaten, jailed, or even killed. And what is the value of a citizen of such country to beat his chest and say, I am proud of like, are you sure? Brag. When Nigeria enter, when they knock at your door, when these rogues come, you realize that you know what anything. Now, so you go scream, help.
I will not allow you to. Help me. If they carry me, they go where I don't know. Help me.
Come out for road, come out for here. That's Nigeria. Help me. Now waiting. Now the shege that Nigeria system is showing our citizen. That is why today you have so many activists. Any small thing. I love your work. You are a good activist. I love the fact that you are fighting for us. I say, I beg, when you see all the activists, people will be say Nigeria they show shege. All of us, Nigeria they show all of us shege. Now different kind of category of shege. And now we they cope. That one not automatically. You know, the shege, they make many of us speak out. The shege, they bring the talent of what you go call them activism in us. I love this Maiyegun. He's very blunt. About Nigeria shege, you know, make me an activist. That's why I said when you pick all the people who say Nigeria shege, don't turn to activists. I bet come out me. Okay? I am somebody where we say I am just trying to make sure that the shege never to touch me. Before he finally touch me, shock me, hold me, I don't even talk again. Una go remember say that guy, that guy, that Maiyegun. I remember when it was still like when the shege never hold him, whether Nigeria never grab him. He's a very brilliant and then blah blah. I know they fight for you. I am asking you that we should hold our hands if we want to be honest to ourselves. If we want to be honest with ourselves, right? We hold our hands. We fight together because we have common enemy, same enemy. The same enemy that has done this to us. These are the people, the same enemies that have done this to us. They come from all of our tribes, from all of our ethnic nationalities, from all of our religious, doctrines, and then everything that links us to the society we call Nigeria today. So if you know yourself as a victim, a citizen that they have actually dehumanized so much, demoralized, and the self-esteem completely dwindled and destroyed. Some of you still get some. That's why you tell yourself, I know my words, Baba. If they say DSS, they outside your gates, inside your own household, you go on the hide. Imagine no be another person also. They say, we are looking for comrade, fire for fire. They say, they live here. Say, now here they live, oh. Now here they live, oh. Now in front tell us, now here they live. We are DSS. We are looking for comrade, fire for fire. The one where they take nonsense. Say, they live here. If we look inside this, I will not go see them. See my pick. They live here. You know what I'm saying, Abi? Or you don't? Some of you are very kind of, you love living in denial, but it's fine. So the point here is this. Now all of us go see the shege. But if we hold hands and we understand that fighting these criminals, you can't fight them using the same system they put in place, the same system that they are mastering. You can't beat the house when you go to any casino. You can't. Yeah, you may win something that make you feel like, yeah. But Baba, you cannot win against the house. The house will let you win as much as they want you to. And if you are becoming a big threat, then they take the whole place back again. So definitely you can't beat them in their game using their own rules and their own whatever. You know what I mean? PVC no go save you. I just said I should remind you. But there is something bigger. Something bigger. Soludo dropped a bombshell. You have been seeing my face since. You know, in another 2-3 minutes, now my voice you go to hear. Some of you have read what Soludo said. Some of you have reacted to them. But for the sake of the diary, Yomi, you can sit back and relax. Pay attention to the words used by Soludo and where the intent or the motive for what he actually put out there. Peter Obi, an Igbo man who want to be president of Nigeria, want to ride on the back short, or what do they call them? On the back of the bro-beaten, traumatized, abused Nigerians, especially young people who believe that with a political revolution, they can change or turn the wheel of fortune of Nigeria towards them, away from the greedy elite. A very huge, ambitious dream. I like it. I like the fact that you can help me torment them. I keep saying that too, okay? Now, this didn't go well with the elite. They said Peter Obi he has nobody. He has, you know what I mean? He's not doing it the way they are normally doing it. In fact, Peter Obi is saying that he is not an Igbo president. Just to let you know, right? He said he's going to be a Nigerian, but he's a Nigerian candidate, not Igbo candidate for Nigeria president. But Soludo said it is time to tell the truth that many have now reacted to as coming from the position of pain. That somehow, Soludo feels like all the accolades you are giving Peter Obi, he doesn't deserve them. He didn't do anything. And according to the Obidients, Maiyegun, this is pure jealousy. What did Peter Obi say after as well? I'll share that with you. So you won't see my face. You're going to hear my voice, right? But you will then see these two brothers who have decided, or should I say, one of them, who have decided to even call the Igbos nasis. I couldn't spell the word in my description. Like I said, please, I'll do my best not to read too fast. Okay? And I will also do my best to make sure that I don't interrupt the reading. Okay? Too much. Because, I can't do without that. I always put my own jara in the middle. But whatever it is, if you have read it before, if you haven't, if you have seen reactions, if you haven't, please pay attention to these words used by Charles Soludo, the governor of Anambra, the state where Peter Obi come from. And according to him, Peter Obi is just seeking attention. According to Soludo, in fact, if every one of you should pay attention to what the elite sees Nigeria of today, Peter Obi attempting to be president, in fact, is to reduce Atiku's votes so that Tinubu can be your president. Plus or minus, I'll let you judge. It is a long read. Like I said, you can just listen. Meanwhile, we have nearly 2,000 of us on YouTube right now. And it is so shocking still that we only have less than 400 of us who find it actually worthy to like the broadcast, to like the video. I mean, I wish I'm not always going to be reminding you, but if you have forgotten, right, you can use this moment and do so and listen while I read this back to you. I have all I need, including Peter Obi's response to Charles Soludo in full. If you still have the time, relax. Let's start from word for word. Charles Soludo, who recently said Peter Obi's bragging right of investing money for Anambra is a pure waste because the investment today worth next to nothing, according to Soludo. But this has now prompted, and he also said that Peter Obi knows that he can't win and he won't win. But Peter Obi just want to ride on the, okay, you know what? Let me read, rather. Word for word. History beckons, and I will not be silent. Part 1 by Shukuma, Charles Soludo. I read. My attention, hang on. Yeah. My attention has been drawn to some of the tirades on social media following my frank response during an interview on Channels Television regarding the investments Mr. Peter Obi claimed to have made with Anambra state revenues. Sadly, several of the comments left the issue of the interview to probe or suggest motives inferred from my response on investment that I am opposed to Peter Obi's ambition and therefore committed a crime for which the punishment is internecine abuse and harassment, even family. Some people even suggest that the gunmen who went to attack a checkpoint at my hometown on Saturday, 12th November, but were gunned down was part of the mob reaction. I used to think that for decent people, certain conducts are off limits and that in Anambra, politics is not warfare. Of course, as a Christian, I know that telling the truth can be very costly, even suicidal. Our Lord and Savior was crucified simply for telling the truth. The people did not want to hear. I promised that I won't be the usual politician and will not knowingly lie to the people. I am not an angel, but rather that knowingly repeat the same deceitful character that politicians are known for. I would leave public office. It is a vow I made to my God and to my family. Only God knows how many days I will be on this seat. But whether I am on it or not, I will always say it as it is. Knowing fully the suicidal consequences of telling the truth in a political arena, especially in a country where lying and deceit by politicians have become culture and celebrated as being smart. Ideally, I should just have laughed off the infantile exuberances, as many friends advised. I am used to this, having been in the arena for a while. I always reread the quotes, in quote, "The Man in the Arena" by President Theodore Roosevelt, 1910, to remind myself of the burden of public office. Several well-meaning Nigerians and Igbo called to advise that I should just ignore them. I respected the Igbo elder statesman who advised that I should just ignore what he described as Peter Obi and his social media mob. According to him, everyone knows that he is going nowhere, but they are looking for who to blame. After some 20 minutes of discussion, he advised that I should personally author a response just for the records. Everyone knows that I don't follow the wind, nor want to succumb to bullies, nor shy away from a good fight, especially when weighty matters of principles and future of the people are involved. One lesson I learned from my former boss and mentor, President Obasanjo, is never to be on the fence. I learned that one must always take a stand, for better or for worse. I do so with every sense of humility and leave history to judge. Most people have commended me for tactfully avoiding being drawn into the Peter Obi issue until now. Since I am now being forced into the arena on this matter, I have a duty and a right of reply, if only for the records, and to also give social media mob something substantive to rant upon and rain their abuses for weeks. If this preliminary response, in this preliminary response, there are some things I will refrain from saying here, because in the end, February, March 2023 will come and go and life will continue. At the outset, let me state that this exhibition of desperation, intolerance, and attempt to bully everyone who expresses the slightest of dissent is reprehensible. This is Hitler in the making. When the revered Archbishop Chukwuma stated that in Enugu State, they were not obedient, he was ferociously bullied on social media. Any dissent is tagged a saboteur, or in my case, it could be that I want to contest for president after office, or that I am envious of Peter Obi. Soludo envious of Peter Obi with a question mark. Totally laughable, like with an exclamation mark. But this is the same person I was asking to return to ABGA in March 2022 and contest for president, and yet envious or doesn't want him to be president. This is madness. Seriously speaking, the obdurate attempt to muzzle the Republican Igbos to maintain the silence of the graveyard is antithetical to everything Igbo. It is not who we are. Insulting other ethnic groups and religions or denigrating others is certainly not the path to Aso Rock. If this is not checked, it may indeed endanger the future political and economic interests of the Igbo people. Soludo continue. In this time, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe was the undisputed all-time leader of the Igbos, but he had his arch rivals and even independent candidates won landslide elections against his party, NCNC, in Igbo land. Obafemi Awolowo had stiff opposition among the Yorubas, while Ahmadu Bello had his share of opponents in the northern region. Today, no one has accused Afenifere or other strong presidential candidates from the southwest of being anti-Yoruba because Tinubu is a front-runner. No, yes, people have been accused of anti-Yoruba for saying they don't support Tinubu and they are Yoruba. So Soludo can shove that statement down his horrible throat. By the way, that's a lie. He's a politician. In Yoruba land, Yorubas are called, and Yorubas who don't support Tinubu are called Omali, bastards, enemy of Yoruba, and every other unprintable names. But let's continue. Strong, well, okay. Now, has anyone accused Kwakwanso and several other northern candidates of being anti-North for supporting Atiku as a full-blooded Republican Igbo man and Democrat. I don't even understand what that simply means. A full-blooded Republican Igbo man and then a Democrat. So that makes Soludo a Republican Igbo man, a Democrat Igbo man. Such a bollock. He said, I reject this despotic intolerance. That's what he said. Yes, I fully understand the anger of some urban and diaspora youth. Give me a sec. He said, yes, I fully understand the anger of some urban and diaspora youth and some Nigerians who are dissatisfied with the trajectory of the country or with the candidates of the major parties and wished other options, not knowing much about others. Some see Peter Obi as the contrast they wished for. I get the point. But this is a democracy. The minority will have their say, but the majority will have their way. Translating anger and social media agitation into political outcomes requires humongous work. Now, for full disclosure, let me state that Peter Obi, in fact, I'm going to come back for that. Now, you're going to do me a favor, right? If you haven't really liked this broadcast yet, I implore you to please do so, okay? Especially if you are watching on YouTube. My friends on YouTube, thank you very much as well for what you have done. Currently, we have less than 600 of us as well currently showing up, okay? But I will be quickly back. Give me a sec.
This is 2021. Some people are already getting ready to kill themselves over 2023. And they don't even know whether there will be 2023. They don't even know if there is 2023, whether they will still be around. There's nobody here who can say for sure that we will still be around by tomorrow. Nobody. It is God who determines who will still be around by 2023. Somebody said to me, sir, who do you think should be president in 2023? I said, president of where? He said, president of Nigeria. How are you sure there will be Nigeria in 2023? How are you sure? Can you swear? I pray there will be, so don't misquote me. But are you sure? Are you sure?
Are you sure? Are you sure? Anyway, let's continue with Soludo's. I hope you are actually following this, not just commenting. And I actually want you to listen. Listen to the word for word. If there's anything you are going to type in there, just like the broadcast, okay? We are over 2,000 on YouTube right now. But sadly, less than 1,000 of you were actually like, I don't know, maybe impressed or not. But thank you to every one of you who actually listened and you took a moment to go and like that video, okay? Thank you. Now, let's continue. For full disclosure, let me state that Peter Obi and I are not just friends. We call ourselves brothers, but we have political differences. That's true. He left ABGA for PDP. I mean, after his tenure as a governor, while I have remained in ABGA since 2013. During the last two governorship elections in Anambra, in 2017 and 2021, he led the PDP campaigns, but ABGA won landslide in both elections. By the way, in 2016, he visited and proposed that I defect to PDP and contest the 2017 elections against the incumbent Willie Obiano. I declined. After my victory in November 2021, He called to congratulate me as I did to him in 2010. That is the Anambra way. We fight fiercely during campaigns, but share drinks. Share drinks at the next social event. After all, it was the great Zeke of Africa who taught us that in politics, there are no permanent friends or permanent enemies, but permanent interests, right? Soludo continues. We sat next to each other during the Emeka Anyaoku lecture at Nnamdi Azikiwe University on the 8th of March, 2022. And I made an offer to him to return to APGA and contest as its presidential candidate. Yes, I did. In my mind, it was the right, he said it was time for Igbos to organize their region politically before stepping out to bargain power with other organized coalitions. On his part, he tried to convince me that he expected APC to unravel, while PDP would be the only one standing. He debated and he proposed that we could meet later to discuss further. He attended my inaugural on March 17. A few weeks later, he requested, and I obliged him, to use the Anambra State Government House facility to launch his presidential bid under PDP. I was surprised to read in the newsletter that he had defected to Labour Party, a party with literally zero structure, thereby attempting to weaken the same PDP he saw as the savior a few weeks earlier. He paid me a courtesy call as the presidential candidate of Labour Party, and we had frank discussions. During our meeting, I reminded him of my proposal to him to come and contest under APGA. More importantly, I told him, possibly to his surprise, that I did not make the proposal in the belief that he will win in 2023, but that it would give us the opportunity to get our people organized as a bargaining force, with him leading the front since I was busy as governor. My immediate predecessor, Willie Obiano, had indicated to me that he was not disposed to contest an election. We noted that we were in opposing political parties. And in response to my direct question as to how I might help him, he requested that I should just ensure a level playing field and let the people decide. In fidelity, my government has provided the atmosphere for him and his supporters to operate freely in Anambra without any molestation. Compare with the treatment Labour Party, even in other southeastern states, and allowed these billboards, which are in many places wrongly placed, almost on the roads. As a person, I have several shortcomings, but being petty is not one of them. We have shown him tremendous goodwill, which he did not extend to the same Labour Party when he was governor. Senator Ifeanyi Uba, as Labour Party governorship candidate in 2013, was denying the use of Ekweme Square for his rise. Soludo wrote, someone reminded me that a mob has no head and hence cannot reason. He's referring to the Obidients here. He refers to Obidients as mob who have no head and they can't reason. So let's continue. Someone reminded me that a mob has no head and hence cannot reason. The same Peter Obi was one of those who told Igbo that APGA was the vehicle through which Igbos would organize to engage the rest of Nigeria politically. He was said to have sworn to Ojukwu and publicly that he would quit politics the day he leaves APGA. The rest is history. When he was the vice presidential candidate under PDP in 2019, the emotive train then dubbed the ticket for a more pragmatic approach. But the emotive blaze of the time held sway. We were vindicated afterwards. In 2019, when Atiku chose Peter Obi as his running mate, the political elite of Eastern Nigeria, including the business elite of Eastern Nigeria, they rejected him. They warned Atiku. No, we don't trust him. No, he's not one of us. We are never, you know what I mean? And this is Soludo, confirming that he said, we were vindicated afterwards. Are you with me? Continue. By the way, APGA is Nigeria's third largest political party today, according to Soludo, which statistically is true. Sure you get. Political parties' strength are measured by the number of areas they control politically and the government they control through that political party. So it's technically right for that. So let's continue. According to Soludo, he said it is the only other party. Okay, I'll take that again. APGA is Nigeria's third largest political party today, after APC and PDP. It is the only other party with a state governor and third largest presence at the National Assembly. And some people have the temerity to suggest that APGA's candidate should step down for Peter Obi as the Igbo candidate. Sorry, that's how Soludo asked the question, right? That you have the temerity to ask them to step down for Peter Obi? Are you serious? Okay. I wonder when Igbos met to choose a candidate. They even argue that after all, APGA supported President Jonathan and did not field a candidate then. Well, the fact, as I was told, was that no candidate showed interest under APGA then. Besides, APGA's unwritten rule then was to support the party at the center, which, if we apply this time, should actually be APC. But we have our own candidate. Recall that all the political parties had their primaries during the same period. Once Peter Obi realized that he won't get the presidential or vice presidential ticket of PDP, he ran to Labour Party, a political party known as a transit camp for aspirants who lost primaries in APC, PDP, and APGA. And the chorus by a vociferous minority now is the Labour Party has become the Igbo project, and the APGA candidates who emerged the same time as Peter Obi should step down. Ridiculous, with exclamation mark. Now I truly understand that a mob cannot reason. That one enter Obidients, you dey watch. I realize I don't see the reason why all of you are so angry. So angry. Well, let's continue. They say you be mob. You know the reason. You know get egged. I know so often I don't reply, but anyway, let's continue. When will Igbo understand and learn politics? This is Soludo asking, especially of Nigeria. When Bola Ahmed Tinubu defied the political wind of the time and stood out as the only man standing in AD and later AC before ACN against a sitting president of Yoruba descent, no one accused him of being anti-Yoruba. Indeed, everyone recalls that both Tinubu and President Obasanjo disagreed politically, which is true. and probably still disagree. But none is being accused of being anti-Yoruba. Under Tinubu, the Southwest strategically organized under a different political party, the ACN, and went into a formidable alliance that kicked out a sitting president in Africa. And that alliance is not broken yet. Igbos, in their frenzied Nzogbu politics, have sadly found themselves in a political cul-de-sac. Tragic indeed. When will my people smell the morning coffee? Soludo asked. Let me now address the substance of my response. Now he wants to talk about why he said Peter Obi's investment is gone. It's next to nothing. Let me now address the substance of my response during the interview. And I stand by what I said. On record, I doubt that any governor in Nigeria has paid as much tribute to his predecessors as I have done during campaigns and in. I always said that all of them did well and to the best of their abilities. Yes, Peter Obi was governor for 8 years, 2006 to 2014. During a period of unprecedented oil boom and prosperity in Nigeria. In bracket, Nigeria economy was growing at average of 6.8% per annum, and oil price was highest during this time, according to Soludo. Remember, he's a former governor of Central Bank, yeah? I have seen all kinds of funny comments and interpretations regarding what I said about the value of his investments. Some refer to Submiller and Bandy, all kinds of figures as to how the investment of $12 million is now worth more than $3 million. Of course, there is room for legitimate debate about the logic or quality of the investment. For example, people might differ as to the propriety of using taxpayers' money to promote a company in which one is a shareholder in the name of investment, or even whether so-called savings are warranted when there were dozens of schools without roofs, or classrooms, or local government without access roads, or hospitals without doctors and nurses. A bishop recently publicly advised that I should please try to construct the Ngige type of quality roads, stating that the roads done by his successor, that is Peter Obi, had washed off, while Ngige's roads remained. I promised, and we are delivering quality roads that Anambra has not seen before. Soludo. He continues. For sure, prudence in public resource management is desirable, and we are opening new frontiers in that area. People will, however, differ as to whether saving money in the bank account is a KPI, which is key performance indicator, for a government where poverty is escalating, except where its institutions for absorption are weak, or where the government has no robust big agenda for transformation. Government exists to save lives, not to save money. We can debate and differ on this. By the way, I know when and how it is appropriate to save money. As I built Nigeria's foreign reserve from $10 billion I inherited to all-time $63 billion, and even after paying $12 billion, to pay off Nigeria's debts, external debts, and going through unprecedented global financial crisis, I still left about $45 billion. Go and verify. Soludo to the Obidients. I know say una don't verify a lot of this thing. All of them have come back to show to us that, well, this is Nigeria, where you can read about billions and billions, where they will tell you you are doing well. But when you look at yourself, you feel like they are talking about a different country. Are they talking about me? Are they talking about us? They said we are doing fine. Are these people mad? It is called Nigeria, and it is not called Nigeria. It is not just being called Nigeria for no reason. So let's continue. Soludo. Again, sorry guys, I'm going to put the image up, just a temporary one, okay? The person who is talking, so that you can see who is talking. And this fight is between two brothers, Soludo. I remember telling you to please pay attention to his use of words, okay? That is what we are trying to pinpoint here before I tell you what my view is going to be eventually, okay? So let's continue. Zogu politics. Soludo said it won't work for Biafrans. It won't work for the Igbos. And in fact, in his words, Peter Obi is probably working for Tinubu to be president of Nigeria. That is the part, but we'll get to that side, okay? Now, he said, I'll continue. For sure. Well, anyway, he said, funny. In the rabid frenzy to grab every straw, they caught a clip during our governorship debate where I was stating vital statistics, and they claimed that I was praising Peter Obi. Then, why committing a crime now by criticizing him? Ha 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 ha. With the type ha 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 sha. Hey, god damn it, Professor. Anyway, sorry. He said ha 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 ha. Very funny. Well, it is true that I said during the debate that according to National Bureau of Statistics, poverty in Anambra actually grew from less than 25% in 2005 to about 53% under Peter Obi in 2010 and 2011, but fell under Willie Obiano to 14.78% in 2020. Yes, poverty more than doubled under Peter Obi, and more than 50% of Undi Anambra were in poverty under him. Go and verify, Soludo said. And further, he said, I am governor and sitting on privileged information, which I will not want to use against a political opponent. But on matters of facts, I will always state same as is. As the saying goes, you can fool some of the people some of the time, but never all the people all the time. Enough said for now. Where do we go from here? I listened to my friend, Governor El Rufai, on TV, explaining why the northern governor decided that power should shift to the south. According to him, they asked themselves, what would their founding fathers, Ahmadu Bello, Tafawa Balewa, or Aminu Kano, have done in this circumstance? Today, I ask my people, Ndi Igbo, do we ask what Azikiwe or Emai Opara or Akano Ebeam would do in the present circumstance? I worry that Ndi Igbo, as Nigeria's foremost itinerant tribe, and with the greatest stake in the Nigerian project, does not yet have a strategy to engage Nigeria politically. Every 4 years, we resurface with emotive unzobu political dance. It is our turn dance, but without organization or strategy, and fizzle out afterwards while others work 24/7, strategizing and organizing I beg you, God, I beg you, God, I beg you. Now, this one is a question I want to ask you, my viewers, okay? It's a very straightforward one. For 62 years of Nigeria independence, 3 major ethnic nationalities of Igbos, Yorubas, and Hausas. For these 62 years, an Igbo man, according to Soludo, has been playing politics of opposition. They have not been playing politics rightly in Nigeria. That is why they have never had a chance of becoming president of Nigeria or controlling power in Nigeria, according to Soludo. Because when every 4 years, while the Igbos, after dancing Zobu, Zobu, Eyiba, Eyi, Zobu, Eyiba, Eyi, they will fizzle out, they will disappear, while other ethnic nationalities work 24/7. My question is this. Since Nigeria, we have seen what Nigeria has become. We have seen what the people of Nigeria have become. We have seen what they have made of your life. We have seen what they have made of Nigeria. Are you with me? Now, should you as an Igbo man in any way regret that you have contributed not a single penny, not a single bit to the destruction of Nigeria? Can what Soludo just said right now, can we say the other ethnic nationalities, Yorubas, Hausas, Fulanis, Ijos, and every other people who have played their politics rightly, according to Soludo, and they have controlled Nigeria? How far, 24/7 that they have been planning to continue to keep controlling Nigeria, how far is the life of everybody from every part of Nigeria? Let's say the Igbos are being punished because they didn't play politics rightly. Fine. All of us, Yorubas, Hausa, Fulani, Kanuri, Ijo, Nupe, Ishekiri, everybody from everywhere, we don't they play the politics right since 1960. How far with our lives? How far? Okay. It never finish. It never finish. According to Soludo, which I am going to continue now, right? Or I will leave the screen on a little bit more. Okay. Then I'll go back on to get us the face of these guys, okay? Now let's go back. He said, let's be clear. Peter Obi knows that he can't and he won't win. He knows. And meanwhile, hang on. There's something I need to quickly say as well, okay? I don't know if you have observed that. PDP, APC, the billionaires, the elite, everybody, somehow, even though they continue to say, Peter Obi and you Obidients, you are not a threat. You are just social media, this or that. But have you noticed that PDP, APC, and the rest of them, they always gaslight the Obedient. They gaslight them. And when they are gaslighting the Obedient, ignoring the fact that Yorubas, Hausas, Fulanis, Northerners, Southerners have been those who have been posting everything everywhere, calling themselves Obedient. But do you notice that whenever PDP want to talk about Obi, whenever APC, now Soludo, and everybody who wants to talk about him, have you noticed that they kind of always talk about him like everybody supporting him, they are Igbos? Have you noticed that? Or have you noticed the tone of the writing of Soludo as well? Gaslighting them, blaming them for all of you Obedient, where they abuse people, where they do your violence on social media. Many of you are Yoruba, some of you are Fulani, Hausa, everybody. I see your video everywhere. I see so many of you everywhere. But do you know that there is a deliberate attempt? Because I've told you this before. If anything is going wrong in Nigeria, if you look around and you look left, you look right, and you have nobody to blame for it, don't waste your energy. Blame the Igbos. That's how we do it. Even Igbos, those who are Igbos themselves, when they look around, when they look left, when they look right, talking about Nigeria. When they look at who should we blame for the reasons why we are facing what we are facing as Igbos in Nigeria, they just have to blame Igbos. Igbos blame Igbos for Nigeria problem. Nigeria blame Igbos for Nigeria problem. But they won't let the Igbos go. Like, it is normal. Or you don't know that, Abi? You are fresh, you are new. If you look around and if you talk, some of you, if you talk about Nigeria problem, you talk, say, I'm so, say, man, I just wish God would do something. Some of you don't blame God. You just wish God would do something. Or he won't do it. That's too long. Just blame the Igbos. Blame them. That's the Nigeria rule. Have you not noticed? Now, Soludo is making your obedience to be like every obedient you see is an Igbo man. And that is why he's now charging the language of, look at what Obi is using the Igbos to do. Obi is raining our chance to lead Nigeria. All of you Igbos, you are opening your eyes, you are looking. Obi is so dangerous. So Obi is the problem of Nigeria. Do you understand? Or do I need to break it down further for you? Do I? Last. Let me know my last learning last. But for the diary, for those who want to be saved, for those who don't want to invest their own emotion, who don't want to invest anything that they will come back later with broken hearts, because you are going to come back in regret, whether in APC, whether in PDP, whether in Labour, whether in Abga, anywhere where you find yourself, and your dream is to save Nigeria. From who? Who are you saving Nigeria from? And where are you going to hand Nigeria over to? Don't worry. Soludo is gaslighting you. And he's the latest. It is wrong, but it's going to get worse. And I don't know if some of you are prepared for that. It's going to what? It is going to get worse. Let's continue. He said, let's be clear. Peter Obi knows that he can't and he won't win. He knows the game he is playing. And we know too. And he knows that we know. The game he is playing is the main reason he didn't return to Abga. The brutal truth, and some will say, God forbid, is that there are two persons or parties seriously contesting for president. The rest is exciting drama. That many Americans may not like the fact that Joe Biden, 79 years old, and Donald Trump, 76 years old, are two frontliners for president in their parties, does not remove the fact that if both of them emerge as candidates, definitely one of them will be president in 2024. That is Soludo. Soludo continues. He said, as my brother, I wish him well and even pray for him. I told him during his courtesy call that my prayer is that himself or Professor Umeadi of Abga would win. Why not? That is from my heart. But I also told him that my head and facts on the ground led me to know that its probability is next to zero. What I cannot say before you, I will say behind you. Sorry, what I cannot say before you, I will say behind you. So I already told him my opinion. Indeed, there is no credible pathway for him near the first two positions. And if care is not taken, it won't even near the third position. Analysts tell him, right, you don't need structure to win. Fantasy, he called it. All of you wait talk say you don't need structure. Now fantasy they live, according to Soludo. Of course, Labour Party won governorship elections in Ekiti and Osun on social media and via phantom polls, while getting barely 2,000 votes on ground. Creating a credible third force for presidential elections in Nigeria requires a total different strategy and extreme hard work. You need structure. You need to get money where you go pay people money You need structure. This whole thing where they say, the patients, they work. According to Soludo, former central bank governor, who probably also paid people to vote for him in Anambra. Of course, Peter Obi will get some votes and may probably win in Anambra state as homeboy. But Anambra is not Nigeria. If he likes, I can even campaign for him, but that won't change much. From internal state-by-state polling available to me, he was on course to get 25% in 5 states as at August this year. The latest poll shows that it is down to 4 states. Shege. Obedient, you not here? Only on social media, let him win. Now only social media, on top social media, you win, Abi. Soludo, they dare you. Anyway, he said, not even in Lagos State, supposed headquarters of urban youth, where Labour Party could not find candidates to contest for House of Rep or Senate. The polls also show that he is taking votes away mostly from PDP. Indeed, if I were Asiwaju Tinubu, I would even give Peter Obi money as someone heading one of the departments of his campaign, because Obi is making Tinubu's pathway to victory much easier by indirectly pulling down PDP. It is what it is, according to Soludo. Meanwhile, he continued. He said, the current fleeting frenzy, the Obidients, he said, the current fleeting frenzy, if not checked, will cost Igbo dearly for years. The Southeast has the lowest number of votes of any region. But it is also the only region where presidential race might be a 4-way race. It is a 2-way race in the other 5 regions. But the 5 Southeast states were united for PDP, but contributed merely 1.6 million votes to PDP, which was about the votes that Kano State gave to Buhari. The emotions might run to heavens, but politics, said politics power is about cold calculation. Soludo, which is also true. He said, organization and building alliances for power. So in a democracy, it is a game of numbers. So far, I don't see any of this. And 2023 might again be a wasted opportunity for Igbo. What is our plan B when Peter Obi loses in February? Some people prefer that we should play the ostrich, while Peter Obi toys with the collective destiny of over 60 million Igbos. Yes, you pray that he wins. But what if he fails, as he is certain to? The Bible says that my people perish for lack of knowledge. As the saying goes, only those who plan can control the future. Igbo, wake up and smell the morning coffee. What would Zeke of Africa or M.I. Okpara do in this circumstance? Our founding fathers understood that in politics, you don't get what you deserve, but what you bargain or negotiate, and you negotiate with your organization and votes, not social media militancy or bullying, where over 90% of actual voters are not on social media. Our fathers built alliances with other major political parties in other regions, not with socio-cultural groups that don't command any votes. That is a little bit of a dig at Afenifere. They don't get votes. And Igbo were in the reckoning in the first and second republics. After the elections, we will see how many votes any of these leaders of the so-called cultural groups will get for Peter Obi from their words. Sometimes I even sense a conspiracy to nudge us on a path to nowhere, thereby further pushing us
into irrelevance. And I pray that I am wrong. Just my 2 cents. Soludo continued. It is not too late for Ohaneze Ndi Igbo and progressive Igbo leaders to preemptively start charting a pragmatic future for Ndi Igbo in Nigeria after the elections. Armchair social media analysts can have the luxury of fantasizing with wild speculations. Right or wrong, they end their pay and with no consequences. For us as leaders, the lives of tens of millions are at stake. We have a history, duty to act, and being silent or politically correct is not an option. For starters, Ohaneze should study the report of my committee, Planning and Strategy in 2019. It may still be relevant today. Second, Ndi Igbo should seriously study the MOU signed at the Yaradua Center in 2010. The leader of Igbo Political Association, Chief Simon Okeke, and our members are still there. Thirdly, and for me, Ndi Igbo should strategize and bargain, especially with the 2 candidates likely to be president, on at least 4 central issues. A, lasting peace and security in the Southeast, including the release and engagement with Nnamdi Kanu. B, Southeast economic transformation agenda and the federal government's Marshall Plan for the Southeast as promised since the end of civil war. Did you hear that? Nigeria don't promise the people of Eastern Nigeria, the Biafrans, what they call the Marshall Plan of Development for Eastern Nigeria since after the war. Soludo said the Igbo leaders should come together and form a strong whatever to ask Nigeria to please give us this Marshall Plan now. We are ready. We are loyal. We don't want to leave Nigeria again. I beg. It is called the post-war reconstruction. We appreciate the second Niger Bridge and recent contract for MTN to construct the Onitsha-Enugu Expressway. But the rail lines to the 5 states capital, speedy access to sea, highways linking southeast to the north and south-south, addressing our existential threat as gully erosion capital of Africa, free trade and export processing zones, etc., etc. C, restructuring agenda for Nigeria that devolves power, resources to the subnational entities, and in which it would no longer matter where the president comes from. D, leveling the playing field for the unleashing of the private sector and full participation of Ndi Igbo in the economic and governance space, etc. To conclude, let me once again, this is Soludo now, rounding up. I know it's a long read. I think I told you that it's going to be a longer read. Now that's us coming to the close of it, right? He said, in conclusion, or should I say, to conclude, let me once again wish my brother Peter Obi good luck. He should have fun and enjoy the fleeting frenzy of the moment. But he must moderate the desperation as exhibited by his social media mob. There is a limit to propaganda. A mob action often reflects the character of his leader. No one has monopoly of social media violence, and no one should play God. Life won't end by February or March. No, life won't end by February and March 2023. He is right. I hope that after February 2023, Peter Obi will return to ABGA, the party that made him everything he is politically, as I offered him on the 8th of March 2022, and begin the hard work. If he truly wants to be president of Nigeria, it won't happen by desperately jumping from one party to another or by unleashing a social media mob on everyone who slightly disagrees with you. I decided to pen my views personally. Again, for the records. On this, I don't mind being a one-man minority as history beckons. My conscience and sense of duty to my people dictate that I should never be silent. I will happily accept the judgment of history for standing by the truth. Drop pen after signing Professor Soludo, Governor, Anambra. I'll take one single break. As I take you two should take a break and like this video, because now, what is Peter Obi's response? Normally, you go to hear my brother. There is no permanent friend, there is no permanent enemy. But the problem, go be say, now, obedient. See, look at this screen. Eh? And like this, all of you obedient. Now like this, you they appear. To the people you said they are your tormentors. Peter Obi is one of them. He was one of them, is one of them, but somehow is benefiting from you, the angry Nigerians who want to deal with your oppressors as soon as don't take over social media everywhere. Something we say that they pay people millions of money. The job where they pay people to do on social media, Fufusela, everything, all of you obedient, you are doing the job for free. You chase APC, you chase PDP, you chase Soludo. You can't provoke Soludo. Even when Peter Obi will always come on Twitter, they beg you. I want you, my supporters. I want you to always be what they call him? Don't abuse anybody. Don't fight anybody. Obi, they beg all of you every day. But sibe, every time when they see you obedient, in my own view, now waiting that they see they your screen, so they know they see Nigerians, they know they see anything. Now waiting that they see me this. As it be, nobody will go see this, we no go fear. Even me go fear. But I understand all of you, the obedient. Are you with me? So what did Peter Obi say after this hulabalu? Obi, what do you have to say to Soludo, please?
When you spread your investment, some will go up, some will come down, but overall, the company is still there, the company is still doing well, it's still part of a global chain and everything. I needed to explain it, not because I'm defending comment by my brother. My brother is the brother, I remain my brother, we're very close, I remain prayerful for him. For other things which I didn't succeed, God has given him opportunity to do it and succeed. For me, yes. So if there's anything pending, governance, you don't finish. People are still in government in America. So you stop where you stop, other people will continue from there. I don't look back. He's the governor of my state. I'll always, he's my senior brother. He's even more intelligent because he's a professor. I'm a trader. So he knows more. So he will be able to do things better than I'm doing it. You know, I've done my little own as a trader. Now the professor is there. He will do his own as a professor. The schools that didn't roof, he will roof them. That's how government goes. Another person comes, do his own. But let us think about, finally, like I tell you people, for those of you who are, just please get involved. All of us are.
You see, some of you will say, Maiyegun, you get bad mouth. Maiyegun, your mouth no good. You are mostly pretenders. Naturally, if you meet people, if you meet all of us, we come from Nigeria, sure you get. I'm saying this to you now. If you are somebody who is friends with Nigeria, or all of you who are friends with Nigeria, you are non-Nigerians, okay? It is a natural thing. We don't get good mouth. Are you with me? Now, Nigeria, you will see somebody who just lost 4 children. A terrible tragedy. And where maybe the father, the mother, they are crying, crying and all of that. Somebody will come there and say, show the para any.
Leave her. If she won't kill herself, kill her. They are holding you. Say, may you no jump over the bridge. You are saying I feel like leave her, may go jump, Jare. No, if you jump. So it makes us feel, it makes it look like some of us, majority of us don't get empathy. I'm out, that sometimes when you expect people to say something nice, show sympathy, show empathy, waiting they go talk. Because I hear somebody there just now, where talk say Peter Obi is sounding like I'm gonna go and look for that comment. Somebody said Peter Obi is sounding like something we can't get disease. I said, wow. Anyway, people say things and sometimes they can crack you up, and then at the same time you feel guilt, like, oh my God, I shouldn't have laughed. I shouldn't have. It's just natural to us. So most of the time we don't even mean that. Like I said the other time, when somebody said, go and die, go and knock transformer and die, they know we no get light, which means naturally they don't like me, they disagree with me. But telling me to go and die by hugging a transformer is their own direct way of saying, I know say there's no light. So even if you go and hug the transformer, you no go die. But if I have my way, that means they don't mean it. Do you get that now? We know our mouth bad. I want to see what somebody said, that Obi is a president talking and sounding like somebody will get meningitis, or be something. But yeah, I don't get it. Somebody said Obi is sounding like a toad with laryngitis. They calm down to your lung. Can you just please, can people just please relax a bit? We are talking about emotion here. Which one be told we get laryngitis? What is laryngitis? Anyway, if you say Obi is sounding like somebody we like told we get Larry. Larry, you did it. I don't know what is a laryngitis, but for those of you who are like a voice therapist, voice specialist, I beg help me. If you say, for example, if you hear voice like this, which kind of disease be this one? Quickly.
Buhari, 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 Buhari. Say it again, Buhari.
I'll wait for your comments. I know you will have answer for me. But Obi is not finished. He added more when he was asked that, did you know you're waiting Soludo talk? You go just talk, say you are a trader, is a professor. No, he said more.
Deal with on issue of lessons learned from Anambra State. Quite frankly, for me, I don't think there's a lot that I can tell you that I'll change, considering where I started. You might not know where I started in Anambra State. The day I was sworn in as governor of Anambra State, there was no governor's lodge in Anambra State. There was no governor's office in Anambra State. As you know, it was burned down a year or so under my predecessor. There was no secretariat. The secretariat you see civil servants working today was built by me from the scratch. If I ask where is Minister of Agriculture, they say it's in that corner. Where is Minister of Health? It's in that corner. There was nothing. I started Ministry of Planning. I missed nothing. My predecessor didn't hand over. My predecessor didn't hand over to me. As you know, we declared in the court. Luckily for me, somebody who can tell you what happened to me that day is here, Chijoke. This is our company secretary in Fidelity. I was sitting on board of Fidelity Bank as chairman, presiding the board listen, and one of the directors, let Ndubisi Kanu, said, stop, chairman. He said the court has declared you the winner to be governor of Anambra State, and they said you will be sworn in immediately. That's how I left off the office. I didn't even get to my house, thought it was a joke, enter plane, reach Oka, and was filling paper. They already sworn me in governor. I didn't even come with 2 clothes. I was wondering, I thought they would have given me 1 week to even, but they said the job has started. I said, so where is governor's office? no office. Where is governor's house? I wanted to call my predecessor. I said, he said, wherever you are the government, your office, your everything. I went to my village. I was even in my village. So, considering where I came from, people will not understand it. It was an
10 things you never knew about the 1999 Constitution. Did you know that the 1999 Constitution was promulgated by the Military Decree 24 of 1999? And to think of it, this 1999 Constitution was never subjected to a referendum.
Did you also know that this 1999 Constitution was written by a selected few that never got the consent of the indigenous nationalities or its representation?
Did you know that after writing the 1999 Constitution, it was hidden from the public until after the inauguration of President Obasanjo in 1999?
Funny enough, this 1999 Constitution was not printed by the government press or any known printers in 1999.
Did you know that the 1999 Constitution created a unitary government as against the projected federal government, and this forged an inefficient over-centralized government, as well as creating a centralized judiciary whom has never been autonomous?
In all this, did you know that this 1999 Constitution falsely and maliciously claims that the indigenous nationalities willingly handed over their lands and resources to the federal government?
And interestingly, did you know that the 1999 Constitution calls state governors chief security officers, but at the same time centralized all the security agencies and denies these state governors control over any of the security
And
agencies?
finally, do you know that the illegitimate 1999 Constitution in Section 6, subsection 6C, absolves the government from liabilities regarding rights of the citizens as provided in Chapter 2, making this right not justifiable?
This and many more are the reasons why corruption, unaccountability, incompetence, and insecurity are institutionalized in Nigeria.
Thank you very much. So yeah, that's Obi's response to Soludo. So there's nothing to add or see other than to wait and see if Obi will change history and keep people like Soludo, people like myself, people like yourself, and so many of us who that we think we know this is going to end. Then Obi can just surprise us. That could be a good surprise to start with, even though you probably will know how to process it if that happens. But again, a lot of them are going to ensure it never happened. But some of you are saying that now people's power versus the people with power. Abi? So we could wait and see. Talking about the people and power, somehow, your rage that Remi Werekwe, Tinubu's wife, and Shitty Man's wife, they were flying Nigeria's presidential jets. Now they are not. In order for you to at least, you're not talking about cassava, agbado, and the rest of that. If you are not dancing to Oshekini Olule, Bas Oshekeji Olule, Emilokan, yeah, Emilokan, Timalos America, Emilokan, Timalosi Canada, Emilokan. Nevertheless, Isha, apart from those distractions, the ladies, they paid earpiece, no, hairpiece, APC here, to go to Jos today. So you can't say they use your presidential jet for now, but they are still going to use it anyway, and there's nothing you can do. They are the owners of Nigeria. We're just going to rage and rage and laugh and maybe cry, and then that's it. But if we have to use the summary of what Soludo said, okay, what Soludo
practically said is that no matter how much you try in your logic or what have you to break this establishment, no amount of your social media rage, no amount of your social media this or that, you have to go back to your two fossils, your two relics, these two. Remember he said something, he said, no matter how kind of difference Americans are to Joe Biden or Donald Trump, if two of them become candidates of Democrat and Republican in 2024, Americans will have no choice. They will have to choose between two of them. But ladies and gentlemen, if you think when Soludo mentioned Joe Biden and mentioned Donald Trump, you say, but that's to their old people. You can't compare them with the relics from Nigeria. That's the honest truth. But for those of you who are like trying to listen to Soludo, and somehow Soludo's write-up has motivated you, well, your future are already being discussed between these two. But yeah, you can now choose which level of iya you are going to get ready for. According to Soludo, no matter what you do, either of these two, APC will be your leader. Tinyitita Shami. Sorry, I didn't introduce them to you. Soludo said Joe Biden and Donald Trump, but they don't have that in Nigeria, okay? Even Joe Biden, Sleeping Joe and every other Joe, where people they mock now, American president, if you see what they are laughing at him. Are you with me? Because he's old, he can lose his mind so quickly, and he's already committed so many, what do you call it? Gaffes that you'll be like, oh, it's because he's old. At a point, Joe Biden, American president, he was in a hall. Listen to this. So he's an old man. He's in a hall. And then after giving his speech, he started calling a woman. It's like me calling princess. Okay, sorry, not you. I'll pick a name. It's like calling Rose. President of America left his, what do you call it? His microphone where he was addressing the room. He left it and he went to the edge of the stage and he was calling Rose. Somebody we don't die like about a year ago. He no. But if you see, if Joe Biden is reading something, even you, you go there, you know what I mean? You go there catch feelings and say, see President of America. When Joe Biden is reading teleprompter, you will think, wow, go and give her mother teleprompter. So you don't have Joe Biden, you don't have Donald Trump in Nigeria. What you have is Ikoyi Joe Biden. And then Adamawa Raila Odinga. Now, on the left, I'm going to show you again. On the left is Ikoyi Joe Biden. On the right is Adamawa Raila Odinga. Now, the future, your future, and possibly that of your children, and every other thing you probably, right? According to Soludo, whether you like it or not, and these two go decide them. God forbid bats. Thing.
go on social media, you see that video of Joe Biden calling somebody we don't die a year ago, where he himself announced the death. It's like somebody said, it's like an old man. It's normal, okay? And that's one thing about public office. You can suffer this, an old man can suffer all this within the house. It's still being managed or, maintained. If you are president, I mean, you can even be local government chairman, where you they suffer waiting till Tinubu they suffer. They pee on your body, wear pampers, hand they shake, leg they shake, you know what I mean? Voice they shake. You can't stand upright for too long and all that stuff. It needs to be, sort of, pumped and pumped and pumped for him to be able to at least act a little bit, So you will realize that you can't hide that. The problem is this. If Joe Biden didn't become American president, you are likely not going to see so much what they call the hate towards him, okay? When people begin to address this lapses. But your future is in the hand of these two fossils. I know the future of my children is not in their hands. Do you understand that? If my future is not in the hands of these people, the future of my children is not in the hands of these people. And I can tell you this for free. No be all of us we talk that thing. Because as it be, with Soludo and with what Nigeria represents, with what you are going to face, Obidients, they wish you good luck, they wish you best of luck. Oh. But that's what you are going to be up against. So at the end of the day, whether you like it or not, according to the rogues who enjoy the position, the condition, the place they have put you, the box they have placed you, your life will end up in the hands of that too. Or you go break everything up. That's why I said, they told you to go and get PVC. You have gotten your PVC. Some of you will never get it. Some of you will never use it. They are actually advising you to get your ticket to the political revolution, as you call it. Then to the real revolution that you don't need PVC, you don't need CNN, you don't need America, you don't need UK. Once you say, "Bo," America go bring camera, they record you. Don't worry. You don't need to write to them. You don't need to tag them on Twitter. Go and get your PVC, go and get your PVC. You will soon figure out what they actually told you to go and get. Would you use it? That will be up to you. I wish I could take calls tonight. Honestly speaking, I really wish I could. But I'm just recovering. You know that. I kind of, for the first time in days, I feel like I sounded clearer enough. But trust me, you see these red eyes, You see this nose, running nose. You probably don't want to experience that. And then still be able to actually talk uninterrupted for hours. So, thank you for sharing your evening with me. Very much. Thank you for sharing this broadcast as well. And thank you if this is your first time of seeing or joining us. There is more from where this comes from. I'll see you some other time. So as you go tonight, reflect on what I have said. Like all night. If any of this should meet you or your subconscious mind, your inner mind, where you begin to think, whatever you decide, just do me a favor. Do not live in denial. Own up. Every decision you make is yours. The consequences of those decisions is yours as well. Just put that in mind. And trust me, you will be careful before making decisions, including political decisions. As it be now, A journey of clowning. Journey of clowning. You believe them, then you can believe anything. But within those spaces, I'll share what they are not saying. Or what they say to you that actually means something else. And then I will leave you to it. Think about it. Think about it. If you feel same, then watch how you decide and see if they won't lose control over you. It has to start with you. You first have to understand why you need to reject them. Right? Then you also have to understand that you need to have a purpose why you are rejecting them. And that purpose should replace whatever they have put in your head all these years. It's going to take a lot. I'm not so much of a professional. I can help you to even think. That is the hardest job as a Nigerian. Think. To think
That's such a tough. That's such a tough job. People have decided to give the capacity, or let me say, the ability to sit back, reflect on things, right? And at the same time, think deeper, not just about the decision they're about to make, but the consequences of those decisions. So you don't tell Nigerians to think. They don't have time or the ability or the capacity to have deeper thoughts. So if I could get you to start doing that, then I've done my part. And I'll see you some other time. Don't leave without liking this broadcast. And I will see you some other time. Good night.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun dayari Nayibi #1. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun dayari Nayibi #1. Maiyegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Maiyegun dayari Nayibi #1. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Maiyegun dayari Nayibi #1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Maiyegun dayari Nayibi #1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun dayari Nayibi #1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Maiyegun máa wí. Maiyegun dayari Nayibi #1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun dayari Nayibi #1. Maiyegun dayari Politico. Maiyegun dayari Nayibi #1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun. Maiyegun dayari Nayibi #1. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Maiyegun dayari Nayibi #1. Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun dayari Nayibi #1. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Presido bá rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o àyè.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀ kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀ ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.